Hello.
Hello.
Michael Schenker here.
Michael, Jason Saulnier here.
Hi, Jason.
How's it going?
Good.
Very good to talk to you. Had a little bit difficulty to get to Germany today with the phone.
Oh, you had difficulty to get through?
I'm through. So how's the things in the United States when you were playing down there for the NAMM?
Oh, it was great. Leslie West was there, and Warren DiMartini, and great musicians. Even Vinnie Moore came up on stage, and it was good.
What year is that famous Flying V Gibson that you had? What year is that?
Which is the famous Flying V Gibson?
The one that you first used in like a MSG.
Oh, you mean like in 1980?
Yes.
You know, I really don't know what I was playing then, and actually that guitar got stolen. I think it's, you know what, I really don't know when these guitars were made and where they came from, or I can't even remember when I bought it and where I bought it, or it quite possible it used to be a spare guitar, and then I used it as a main guitar, because when I was in Utah, I went to the Scorpions, and then I went to MSG, and I don't remember which guitars I took with me and which guitars I didn't. So the only thing I know is that the early guitar that I played in 1980 on the first album is the guitar that broke in Japan, and then became they fixed it and made like a metal sandwich out of the headstock or something. And but that guitar got stolen, and I have no idea where it is and where it came from.
Where did you design the concept of black and white on the guitar?
Well, I used to have black guitars and white guitars. I couldn't kind of decide. I got fed up figuring out if I should wear a black guitar or white guitar, so I just was silly and I just painted one black and white.
And it made a very good thing, like, for your presence.
Yeah, you're distorting once in a while and you break up, but maybe it's something to do with the lead or something. Sometimes it sounds really good, and then sometimes it breaks up. Yeah, it just happened, These things are not calculated. They just happen, usually out of silliness or by accident or whatever.
Was a good accident, if you ask me.
I guess people like it, yeah.
In 1982, let's go, there's this whole thing that Ozzy Osbourne wanted you to replace Randy Rhoads and back into the day. Can you go into that subject at all?
Yeah, he's breaking up. I kind of hear bits and pieces, like 82, he said, right?
Yes.
In 82, what happened?
Ozzy Osbourne wanted you to join his band.
Yeah.
And
he called me up in the middle of the night and asked me if I would, join the band.
And what was your answer?
The answer was, I have to think about it, and then I asked the band. I was in the middle of recording with Cozy and Graham, and we kind of, decided it's better not to do. And it was a very, a strange timing anyway. But then later I found out that he drags people by the hair across the stage, so I didn't want to lose my hair either.
There's also a rumor, or it's on your biography somewhere, that you auditioned for Aerosmith.
Yeah, that was like when they were. I went to New York, and after 5 days in my hotel room, finally they told me I can come now, and so I went there. And like Steven Tyler was totally drunk, and it was just a mess, and it never got to anything.
What year was that?
That probably was 78, 79, I would say.
For your guitar tone, when you played in the album Love Drive for the Scorpions, for your solos and all that?
Yeah.
What type of sound effects do you recall, or amplification you used?
Oh, nothing. I just go... it was a Marshall amp. I don't know if I bought my own one or if they already had one there. I may have used one of, one in the studio, or maybe I bought my own Marshall amp. I cannot remember. But, it's just basically straight in. The effects that are on there are all from the, from the mixing.
Wow. Very good sounding album, and your solos are super great.
Yeah.
When Michael Schenker Group became Macaulay Schenker Group, what was the idea to take your name out and put Macaulay in there?
Well,
you think that was a good move?
Trying to make
You think that was a good move?
Maybe not, but you know what? It was just like experiment for me. I was trying to make a smooth transition. I mean, I was looking for a new singer, And also, I was looking for a partner. It was my, MSG is basically, has been put together for me, freedom of expression and experiments and, do whatever I want to do. And so it was time to, I wanted to see what it feels like having a partner in a band, like 50-50 responsibility. And, when Robin McCauley was chosen, I didn't even know. I didn't even focus on his name. I just chose him because actually Rudolf helped me choosing singers. And so we ended up with Robin McCauley. And then the next step was to figure out what am I going to do about the name, And MSG was already established, starting with a brand new name. It was kind of, I just finally decided, look, I want to do 50-50 partnership. Why not making it Michael Schenker, 50-50? His name starts with an M. We can keep MSG, 50-50 partnership, and it's an experiment. I want to see how that goes. And that basically was the reason.
Going to your guitar technique, which is legendary. When you were younger, how many hours did you practice to get that technique down pat?
I started off, like the very early, when I was 9 years old, I would kind of just, like little boys practice, maybe learn a new hit off the radio, that kind of thing. When I was 14, I got very serious, and I would practice quite a bit. And then probably when I was 16, it got really, really, 16, 17, just around when I joined UFO, I would be practicing like up to 40, I would be playing guitar up to 14 hours a day, which would include songwriting, practicing solos and recording the stuff and stuff like that. I would basically just play music all day.
And it shows how good you are too today.
I think I was desperate to express.
Yes. Develop guitar solos in a song. Do you put a lot of thought in it, or does it come naturally to you?
When I do what?
When you express guitar solos, what do you go to do that solo in a song?
I have done solos very different way all my life, in very different ways. There used to be a time when I just, let's see, in the beginning, maybe it would be more like I would know what the chords are for the solo, so I would practice at home while, like maybe Phil would do the vocals and stuff like that. But I would practice to those chords. And so basically on Phenomenon, all the fast improvisation solos, of course things like Dr. Doctor was worked out. Anything harmonic, anything in harmony,
right.
Parts in harmony obviously are worked out because you have to match them. And the improvised stuff, I don't know if you can difference between the improvised, but anyway, I would, the improvised ones, I would just get used to the chord changes and keep practicing to it, and then when it was my turn, I would come into the studio and then start playing to it. But I would kind of know roughly what I wanted, but it wasn't worked out. But I was prepared for the mood and for the chords, and I was in form because I made myself very familiar with it before I would even start recording in the studio. Before I would record the lead break. And then, there is, then I ended up later, especially I think with Macaulay, I did a lot of harmony stuff. And so therefore it was more like maybe worked out stuff. I had different periods in my career, how approaching. Then on some albums I did everything. I did a bit of this, bit of that. Then on the albums I did with Mike Marnie lately, the Summit, Endless Jam thing with David Patterson, I just played solos. I didn't know what even the songs were. I just came in and said, put the tape on, I play. And I would just play whatever comes out. So that was totally improvised. And, so I had different stages in life. And then, of course, when I did my instrumentals, that was all kind of worked out, except for the solos again. But because it's instrumentals, there's a lot of guitar playing in it. A lot of hard work, really. But, so like, and then I, do the acoustic stuff, and that's a different approach again. But the solos itself, again, they're, improvised, or maybe they're played in steps. All sorts of different ways, whatever the mood is at the present time when I make a recording.
Excellent stuff. Do you still practice to this day?
Oh yeah.
So every day you play a lot?
Yeah, what I like doing these days, which I should have really done a long time ago, is I kind of keep familiar with what I be doing, in the near future at the present time. So, for instance, I do a tour with the Scorpions. I do a tour with MSG. I did the NAMM Jam, where I put it all together, like Scorpions, MSG, and UFO. And so I keep familiar with all of those songs that I play in the set, so that I, play those songs with ease. And while I'm practicing to the songs, I have new ideas, and the songs I put like other little bits and pieces in. And, it keeps it interesting if you keep playing the same songs over the years. Never too much so that people don't recognize it, but there's always a new solo in more or less every song anyway, which keeps it interesting anyway for the guitarist, if I have guitarists in the audience. And so it's, where was I coming from? Oh, yeah, so that's the kind of practice I do, is to stay familiar with my songs, and so that I'm really ready for anything that I need to be doing, and it's actually great. I used to practice a lot of lead guitar and neglected the songs, and then when it came down to playing live, I had a really hard time playing the songs because I didn't really learn the songs properly. I just put so much focus on the lead guitar, and so now it's so much more enjoyable because I feel very safe because I know them very well. It's hardly any time to make mistakes because and I keep practicing them at home, and I always kind of take something away, add something to it, and so I still have fun with them. And one of the important things for me is to somehow be able to keep things fresh, after all these years. That's why I stay away from music in general. I don't listen to any music at all, and I just want to be able to not overfeed myself with sounds and stuff like that. I want to keep it special and enjoy it when I do it.
And in that way, you're truly just being very original by not listening to anybody else.
Yeah, that absolutely helps. That's for sure.
To finish off the interview, what can we see of Michael Schenker in 2009?
A lot of touring and a lot of projects probably. It's going to be busy, probably 9, 10 and onwards. I mean, there is so many ideas that are floating around and possibilities. But the focus number one is MSG Schenker Baden in the States, which probably will be in March and April. We actually have the tour dates already, but I have not 100% confirmed yet because we are still chatting with the agent and make sure that all the conditions are met and that we agree on everything. And that should, any time now, even tonight, maybe tomorrow, the final decision is going to be made. It looks like we're going to be doing, starting the tour on the 20th of March up to the 10th or something, or 20th of April. And so I haven't been there for a while. And we're working on the UK tour. And hopefully, eventually, we get some agent that puts us a proper European tour together.
Oh.
So MSG is still in the midst of Beauty World Tour. We're still focusing 100% on that. Then also Gary and I, we're releasing in April an acoustic album, which turned out really good. And so we will be promoting that at the same time, and probably put a couple of songs of that album in the set. And and basically I just keep my ears open, for things I would like to go to Brazil, but we're just kind of letting things, come to us and see what, makes sense.
That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this stuff in the future. And thank you very much, Michael, for spending time with me today.
Okay, thank you very much.
And have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yep, bye-bye.